How did a single city conquer the entire Mediterranean and hold it for centuries? Was it just superior legions and brilliant generals? The truth is far more complex and, frankly, a bit more sinister. Rome's grip on the world wasn't just forged in battle. It was built on a foundation of ruthless tactics and brilliant, pervasive propaganda. Let's start with the Iron Fist. When Rome conquered a new territory, they didn't just win a battle. They systematically dismantled the old power structure. Local leaders were often executed or co-opted, and any resistance was met with overwhelming and brutal force. Think of the destruction of Carthage or Corinth. These weren't just military victories, they were terrifying messages sent to the rest of the world. Defy us, and you will be wiped from existence. This policy of exemplary punishment created a climate of fear that made open rebellion almost unthinkable for many. But fear alone doesn't sustain an empire. This is where the genius of Roman propaganda comes in. Rome sold an idea, the Pax Romana, the Roman peace. They presented themselves not as conquerors, but as bringers of civilization, law, and order. Everywhere they went, they built roads, aqueducts, theaters, and bathhouses. These weren't just public works. They were constant, physical reminders of the benefits of Roman rule. Your city might have lost its independence, but now you have clean water, paved streets, and a legal system that, in theory, protected you. It was a trade-off, and for many, it seemed like a good one. This propaganda was everywhere. The coins in your pocket featured the emperor's face, often depicted as a god or a bringer of peace. Statues of emperors and generals filled public squares. Triumphal arches, like the Arch of Titus in Rome, weren't just architecture. They were giant billboards, celebrating military victories and reinforcing the idea of Roman invincibility. They told a story, a carefully crafted narrative where Rome was the hero, bringing light to a barbaric world. Even literature and poetry, funded by wealthy patrons, often glorified the empire and its leaders. Then there was the masterstroke, Roman citizenship. Unlike other ancient empires, Rome gradually extended citizenship to conquered peoples. This was a game changer. It turned potential enemies into stakeholders. Suddenly, you weren't just a subject. You were a Roman. You had legal rights, economic opportunities, and a path for social advancement within the empire. This created a powerful incentive to assimilate, to learn Latin, to adopt Roman customs, and most importantly, to be loyal to Rome. Your own success became tied to the empire's success. So, how did Rome control the world? It was a masterful combination of stick and carrot. The stick was the ever-present threat of the legions, a brutal reminder of the cost of defiance. But the carrot was arguably more effective. It was the promise of peace, prosperity, and a place within the greatest civilization the world had ever known. They conquered your land with swords, but they conquered your heart and mind with roads, laws, and the powerful, seductive idea of being Roman. It was a system of control so effective that its legacy can still be seen in our own world today. What do you think was Rome's most effective tool of control? Let me know in the comments below.